What's up guys, welcome back. This is going to be the final video in my Fantasy Football Euro 2021 top 10 players in each position. This video is going to be focused on top 10 midfielders, specifically for Matchday 1 again. I've probably found this to be the hardest position to figure out, but having said that, if you've got the forward spot figured out, if you've got the defender spot figured out and the goalkeeper spot, then you've also got your substitutions to make. So if anything goes wrong in midfield, you've got the backups as substitutions, and that's the good thing about Euro Fantasy. You don't have that in FPL. So I'm going to give it my best shot for midfields, but it's probably the one where I'm least confident that I'll score points. But let's get stuck into it. So at number 10, I've gone for Yuri Tielemans. It's probably the first Belgian pick which is actually at the bottom of my list. The reason I've gone for him is because I do think that he could potentially step up in De Bruyne's absence. There are a few other options who are potentially good midfield option for Belgium, such as Carrasco, but the reason I didn't go for him is because his spot is up for grabs from Eden Hazard. I know Eden Hazard isn't fully fit, but I'd rather go with a player who's nailed on to start. I also do like Yuri Tielemans' chances of scoring from outside the box. He does have a habit of doing that every now and then, and in this game you do actually get an extra point for scoring outside the box. As well as that, I think midfielders get either 5 or 6 points for scoring a goal. So really, I'm after midfielders who are going to score a goal. I do like his price at 6.5 million. Only selected by 13%, and again a good fixture against Russia. I do think he's a solid pick. The only reason I've put him lower down on my list is that I don't know how I feel about tripling up on Belgium. They do have a good fixture, but I know I'm going to have Lukaku on my team. I know I'm going to have Denayer on my team. I don't know if Tielemans is a good thing to have as a third pick, or to have 3 players from Belgium. But I do think he's still a solid pick, so for that reason he's at my number 10. At number 9 I've gone with Gareth Bale. He is a premium pick at 9.5 million, but he's actually very lowly owned at 5%. I guess the reason for that is because Wales probably don't score that many goals, and they also have a really tough starting fixture against Switzerland. They don't have an easy group. But having said that, he is pretty much on all set pieces, I think. He's definitely on free kicks and he's definitely on penalties, potentially corners, although I'm not too sure about that. 9.5 million is quite expensive, but if Wales do get a goal, it's very, very likely to come from him, maybe even an assist. But really, again, I'm after midfielders that are going to score goals, and I think he's very, very likely to score a goal. Perhaps not against Switzerland, who knows, but I do think he'll get goals in the tournament. But really, for Matchday 1, it's the reason I put my number 9 is that I think Switzerland's a tough fixture. However, I do think he is Wales' main man. So yeah, number 9, I've gone for Gareth Bale. Number 8, I've gone for another surprise pick from Scotland. It's actually John McGinn. He's a bit of an odd pick, John McGinn, because Scotland are not that well known for scoring goals. They probably won't score that many goals, and they're not the favourites in the tournament at all. So why have I gone for him? The reason is that he is Scotland's main man in midfield, definitely in midfield. I just think if Scotland are going to score goals, it's going to come from him. He plays a very different role for Scotland than he does for Aston Villa. In Aston Villa, he plays more of a defensive role, defensive mid or box-to-box midfielder, because Aston Villa have got the likes of Grealish, they've got the likes of El Ghazi, they've got Ollie Watkins. They can get the goals for Aston Villa. But for Scotland, he's the main man because they've not got that many other options who can score goals for them. So he's not actually that well priced. I mean, 7.5 million is a bit of an odd spot because it's not budget price, but it's not premium. But I've gone for him because I think that if Scotland are going to get goals, I wanted to choose a player who's the main man for their team, and I do fancy him to get a goal for Scotland. He's got a decent fixture against Czech Republic again. So yeah, that's why I've gone for him at number 8, John McGinn. At number 7, I've gone for Elmas, who plays for North Macedonia. He's only 1% owned, but he's at a pretty good price of 6 million. He's got a good first fixture against Austria. I don't think Austria are that good a team. But also, he is the main man for North Macedonia. He's their up-and-coming talent. He's pretty much their talisman, and if they're going to get a goal or an assist, he's going to be involved. So really, again, I'm targeting the star player from their team, and he is their star player. He's not on set pieces as such, but again, I think that if they're going to get a goal or an assist, he's definitely going to be involved. And I think they've got some decent fixtures. I think out of their group, Ukraine's probably going to be toughest, but for their first fixture, I do fancy him to get an assist or a goal against Austria, and even if he doesn't, 6 million is a pretty good budget price. So for that reason, I've put him at my number 7. At number 6, I've gone with Barella from Italy. I found it really difficult to pick a midfielder from Italy because there's a lot of options. You've got Insigne, you've got Berardi, Chiesa. So there's quite a variety of options from Italy. But the reason I've gone with Barella is because he is nailed on to start. And as well as that, he plays in a kind of, not in a number 10 role as such, but he is their spark. And he's very, very talented. He's probably going to be involved if there is a goal and assist. I mean, usually for midfielders, I would prefer midfielders who are classed as midfielder on the game, but actually play in the front three, such as the right wing or left wing. But for him, I just have a feeling that he's going to do well in this tournament. I feel like he's going to step up. He's played really well for Inter Milan. I do think he could definitely step up for this tournament. And 7 million is a pretty good price. Turkey's not the easiest fixture again, but I do think if Italy score, he will be involved in the goals. So for that reason, I've put him at number 6. At number 5, I've gone for Thomas Sucic. And the main reason I've gone for this guy is actually because he's pretty well known for West Ham and for getting goals for them. He's pretty well priced at 6.5 million, and again, he is their star player for Czech Republic. That's really, again, what most of my picks for midfielders have been targeted around. It's picking their star players. He's not necessarily on set pieces, but he just somehow seems to pop up with goals. I don't know how he does it. I have described him previously as the modern day Fellaini. I think that he can definitely get a goal for Czech Republic if they do score. And 6.5 million is not a bad price. Scotland, I don't think Scotland are the best team, but I do think Scotland is not the easiest of fixtures. But if Czech Republic score, he's likely to get a goal. Only 8% owned, so I don't think it can hurt to pick this guy. I think he's definitely capable of scoring goals. He's shown that with West Ham. So for that reason, I've put him at number 5, Sucic. At number 4, I've gone with Christian Eriksen. He's a pretty obvious pick, mainly because Denmark have got a really good starting fixture against Finland, and he's their main man. He's on all set pieces, definitely free kicks and penalties. I also think he might be on corners. 9 million is a premium price bracket, but there aren't that many other standout options in the premium price bracket for midfielders. So I do think he is one of the most popular picks. Having said that, I think he is only 6% owned, but I think amongst the keener community amongst fantasy football, he is quite a popular pick. If Denmark do score, I fancy him to be involved, and even if he doesn't score, he will probably get the assist. So yeah, definitely think that he's got a good starting fixture against Finland. For that reason, I've put him at number 4. At number 3, I've gone for a pretty under the radar pick in Yarmolenko. He is very, very under the radar at the moment, and he is a bit of a risky pick, especially for someone at number 3. But the reason I've gone with him is because he's one of Ukraine's star players. If they're going to get goals, it's either going to come from their forward Yaremchuk, or it's going to come from this guy. Now he is priced at 8.5 million, which is again premium price. But I do fancy them to get a goal against Netherlands, and if Ukraine do score, I do think he'll be involved. He has got a bit of mixed response from Ukrainian fans. Some people don't like him, some people really do. So it's quite a weird one. I was struggling to figure out options, but I do always like midfielders who can score goals. He plays pretty far up the pitch. That's the reason I've gone with him as my number 3. So yeah, number 3, Yarmolenko. Number 2, I've gone with Mason Mount. He is very, very highly owned at 31%, but for good reason. He is priced at only 7 million. I think that he's guaranteed to play for England, and he's got a decent starting fixture against Croatia. But the main reason I've gone with him is because he's in such good form. He's played really, really well for Chelsea, and he can get a goal or an assist. He almost plays sometimes like just behind the striker. Like if Kane drops deep, he will go in and make the runs into the box to finish off a pass and get the goal. I do really fancy him to score, definitely in the competition, but I also do fancy him to get a goal against Croatia. He may even be on some set pieces. I'm not too sure about that, but he may be taking corners or free kicks. I'm not too sure. And if he is taking corners or free kicks, England do like their set pieces, so he's also very likely to get an assist. I really, really do like him as pick. He's one of the first players in my team, and I think that even though England have got a lot of competition in their team, he's very likely to start, which says a lot about how good he is. So yeah, number 2, I've gone for Mason Mount. My number 1 spot, I found it really difficult to pick a number 1 midfielder because I think this position is so hard to predict. But the reason I've gone with Ferran Torres is because I do think Spain are very, very capable of scoring quite a few goals. But not just that, I think that if they do score goals, he pretty much plays as an inside forward for Spain. So if the goals don't come from the forwards of Morata or Moreno, I do think they will definitely come from Torres. He did actually score a hat-trick against Germany, quite a bad back. I think it was in the Nations League or in the friendlies. But he's just got so much talent, so much ability to get into the box and just score tap-ins, and that's all you need from a midfielder. That's all you need for scoring goals. It doesn't need to be anything fancy. You just need to get it in the back of the net. He's priced at 8 million, which is a decent price. It's not too premium, but it's definitely not budget. Sweden's not the easiest of starting fixtures, but if they do score, I think that he's the favourite to score for Spain. So that's the reason that I've put him as my number one spot. I want a midfielder who's very likely to score, because that's what's going to get the most points from them. I'm not too bothered about assists. So that's my reason I've gone for him as number one. Not the best fixture, but I do think he's very likely to get a goal. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. That completes my series for top 10 players for Matchday 1 in each position. I will be reviewing my picks after the Matchday 1 and then going on to do my picks for Matchday 2. If you really did like this video and you found it useful, please smash the like button and stay tuned for more videos.